right, so if you're joining me for this video, you're going to be watching for math lesson 15-2. Okay, we already looked at 15-1 yesterday in YouTube. And today we're going to be talking about classifying shapes. So before we begin, I need to review shapes. Okay, so I'm going to turn my phone around and I'm going to go ahead and review some of the shapes that we've already talked about in 15-1. Okay? All right, so here are some of the quadrilaterals that we learned in 15-1. Quadrilateral means four sides. 4 quarters a dollar, 4 sides a quadrilateral, okay? So we have a parallelogram. He doesn't have right angles, but he has 2 sets of parallel lines. That's why rectangle and parallelogram are related. He just looks like a slanted rectangle. Now, a rectangle has 2 sets of parallel sides, and he also has 4 right angles. And a right angle means it goes straight down and straight across, okay? Makes a 90-degree angle. Here's a rhombus. Rhombus is related to square. It has all equal sides. However, he does not have 90-degree angles. He is kind of slanted, if you will, okay? A square, he's our nice little old school friend, and he has 4 right angles and all sides are equal. Now look at the trapezoid. Look, in the UK, they call him a trapezium, but here in the United States, we call him a trapezoid, so that's pretty cool. And then they have a kite on this picture as well, okay? Next are 2 crazy figures. Convex perplexes me that convex, all of his sides are not equal. They don't have any equal measurements. And then we have concave. If you remember, that was my boomerang. So if you can go in the indent, that's our little cave, okay? Next, for the solve and share for this lesson, you're going to need to know just 2 different types of triangles, okay? You're going to need to know equilateral, which means all sides are the same size, kind of like he's like the square of the triangle world. And you're also going to need to know right triangle. He has a straight line down, straight line across, and then they connected the 2 ends, okay? And then you don't really need to know the rest of the names of the triangles, but it's good to start knowing them because when you get to your upper grades, you will have to know the difference between them, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at our solve and share question. We are on page 817 in your math books. It says sort the shapes below, and it's a bunch of triangles, into 2 groups, only 2 groups. There are more, but we're just gonna do 2. Use color pencils or crayons to color each group a different color. How did you sort the shapes? How are the shapes in both of your groups alike? Okay, well, I do have mine answered already because we did it in the Zoom meeting, and I used the right triangle as one of my groups, and I used all the other ones as my other group. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you. Ta-da! I picked purple and orange to be my 2 colors. Now a right triangle has a right angle. It's straight line down and straight across. So A, D, and K were my right triangles. All the rest of them were different types, okay? You could have also done equilateral. B, G, and I are equilateral triangles, okay? So you could have colored those one color and the rest of them a different color, okay? It says on the look back, it says draw a new polygon that would go in the first group. Well, my first group is my purple right triangles. So I took my purple crayon and I drew it and I marked the little box. The little box means right angle. And then I drew me a nice little pizza slice that kind of looked like letter C right here. Okay, and I colored him orange. All right, convince me. Here's the teachy side. We're just gonna pay attention to box A. This little guy right here, Ethan, made 2 different groups of polygons. He made rhombuses and trapezoids. You are gonna need this box for the guided practice on the next page. So you're gonna need to know rhombuses and trapezoids, okay? The bottom question says, draw a quadrilateral that doesn't go to either group. Well, I love my boomerang. I drew him. You could have also drawn a rectangle. A rectangle is not a rhombus and not a trapezoid. Oh, one more thing. If you are not sure of these shapes, we cut out our purple vocabulary word cards on our first lesson, and if you have not, you should. The purple vocabulary cards for topic 15, these guys are your best buddies. These two sheets are your best friends in the whole world. It reviews quadrilaterals, what's a polygon. On the back, they have a fill in the blank, and you just put the word from the front in the blank, okay? Trapezoid, parallelogram. So if some of these words are kind of weird to you, while you're listening to the video or my Zoom lessons, it's good to look back at these purple pages. These are your best buds. All right, guided practice. Now, I just answered this question. I didn't want to, but I had to stop my video for a second. So, all right. So it says, Nellie drew a group of rectangles and a group of trapezoids. How are her groups different? Well, before you copy my answer, let's look at a trapezoid and a rectangle. Okay, so a rectangle. He does look different from a trapezoid. And for my Zoom lesson, I actually took my trapezoid and I put it on top so the kids could visualize, and I think that would help you too. I can see that both the trapezoid and the rectangle have one set of parallel lines, and I can see the rectangle has two sets, but the trapezoid does not. The rectangle also has 4 right angles. The trapezoid has none, okay? So I decided that a rectangle has 4 right angles. That's my little explanation of how they're different. How are they alike? Well, they both have a couple things in common. They at least have one side that's parallel, but they are both in the same group. Both have 4 sides. No matter what, both a trapezoid and a rectangle both have 4 sides. So what does that mean her shapes belong to? 4 quarters a dollar. 4 sides are quadrilaterals. That weird Q word. Okay. All right, so these are done because I actually used my book to help me during my Zoom lessons, okay? So it says, draw a shape that belongs to Ethan's group 1. And we've decided to draw a square because group 1 on Ethan's page, and this is on page 18, okay? This is box A. I told you were gonna need this one. He has rhombuses, so you're gonna draw another rhombus. And this one right here is a square. This is like a upside down or a sideways square, and this is a true rhombus, okay? So you can either draw a square or a rhombus. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw a rhombus just so you can see I could have drawn both. And I know he's not perfect, it's just a freehand rhombus. It says draw a shape that belongs in his second group. His second group's trapezoids. So you're gonna draw 2 angles and then 2 parallels. Why is there a square in group 1? Why is there a square in group 1? Because squares are rhombuses. All sides are equal. That's all you have to do to be a rhombus is that your sides are equal. Okay? All right, independent practice. We have 2 different groups. We have group 1 and we have group 2. Okay, before we go any further, I need to tell you the name of these shapes. Count how many sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not a quadrilateral. These are called pentagons. You will need to know the word pentagon for your online assessment. Miss Katie actually took that test. I took the online assessment, and you will need to know the word pentagons, okay? But look at group 1. These are nice and fancy. They all look like little soldiers in a line. This is the very different, unique group, okay? He's pointing sideways. He looks like he has a bump sticking out. He's not even. And this one looks like a kind of tall house. But they both have 5 sides. How are the shapes in group 1 different from the shapes in group 2? Group 1 has equal sides. Look how nice and pretty. How are the 2 groups alike? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Da, 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 da. So you're going to say 5 sides. And what group do they all belong to? Dun, 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 dun. Pentagons. All right, pentagons. That's pentagons. Number 10, draw a shape that could go in group 2. Oh, but not group 1. All right, I chose to draw a very weird, wonky, sideways house because I actually have a nice bit of little room right here to draw him. He fit perfectly right there. You could have also drawn a very tall house. Just make sure it has 5 sides. You could have drawn some kind of weird shape like the middle shape. Okay, all of these would go in group 2. Now, draw a shape that could go in group 1. You kind of have to take your time on this shape because you want to kind of match group 1 and pretend that all sides are equal. Okay? All right, that was fast page. All right, on the second page, now I kind of messed up with the bottom of that page. And I did it on another book. I got like noodles going all over the place because Miss Katie didn't follow directions. So I'm going to see, I don't think I have my page anymore, but I have a plan B always. All right, plan B. Let me get a sheet of loose leaf paper. You can get to see over my side of my thing right there. All right. So, let's try this again. Group 1, group 2, we got some kind of weird trapezoid. We got a boomerang upside down, and we got a convex figure. That's group 1. All right, group 2, we got a parallelogram, a rectangle, and I'm trying to hold my phone and draw at the same time, and that looks like a square. And then we have convex is a description. 4 sides. Oops, can't spell. And no equal sides. I'm just putting no equal. 2 pairs of parallel. Oops, can't spell again. 2 pairs parallel, and the last one is 4 angles. And I know I did that kind of fast. I'm just writing that down. All right, so let's ignore Miss Katie's noodles. Okay, the directions say draw a line from the attribute, which just means how it's described, to the group it matches, okay? And so the first group was actually the orange group, and the second group was the purple group, but we're gonna have to draw it from side to side. Okay, convex. Convex means all the angles point out, okay? So we have a convex. Oh, nope. He's concave because of this little point right here. Convex. So all 3 of these do not meet the criteria, so group 1 cannot be convex. All of these are convex, out, out, out. So we're going to draw a line from him to group 2. 4 sides. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All of these are 4. So this is going to go to both groups. No equal sides. This one looks like they had a square. This one has 2 pairs of equal sides, and this one, group 1 looks, they don't have equal sides at all. So this is going to be group 1's description. And I'm going to do arrows so you can see that it's 2 different things. 2 different lines being pointed there, okay? All right, 2 pairs of parallel. Group 1 has no parallel lines. So that would be group 2. Boop. 4 angles. They all have, if you have 4 sides, you're going to have your 4 angles. So now I have to show that this one, and I have to point it to group 1 too. So I'm going to swing him all the way around. Doo-doo. Okay. Yay! And that's the only question you had to do on the back, boys and girls. Yay! And that's 15 too. All done. Now make sure that you go and study these word cards because these are your best friends. And when you do the topic 15 assessment, that's going to be your best friend. All right. You're all done with 15 too. See you later for 15-3.